We always try to get the celebrity deaths out of the way right away. That way we can just get our sadness and our grief and our dark humor out of the way quickly.
That's the one. That's the
That's the
one.
one. I actually have I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago where Kadie had a personal death that affected her.
Mhm.
This week we have one that affected me, and I'm not wanting to talk about it, but we will anyway because he deserves it. And but yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But first things first, we are talking about celebrity deaths from July 2nd to July 7th. We are recording this on July 8th, even though it comes out, I think, on the 15th. Some I don't 19th. I think the 19th this comes out. I don't know. I'm so
Yeah.
confused now, but I believe this
It's
one comes out on the 19th. Yeah, but July 2nd, the first notable death of the week is Rick Clough, Cluff, Clough, who was 74 years old. He was a Canadian journalist, and he passed away from cancer. A Canadian made the list, Kadie.
Well, it's because they just won the soccer shit.
Is that why we're gonna call on that? All right, well, it's because of the soccer
I
shit,
forgot
quote
the name of it.
unquote.
I was on stage while it was happening, okay?
Yeah, you get a trophy. Now we get to take a journalist.
Exactly.
That's what I was getting at. You know, you win some, you lose some.
People did not know that participation trophies do have consequences in the world, and now we're figuring that out.
No, they won. Don't do them like that.
Well, I mean, trophy is a trophy. Somebody has to lose a life over that shit. And anyway, second on our list this week, also on July 2nd, was the bassist for Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. Mr. Tom Fowler passed away at the age of 73. Kadie, I'm sure you're. Well, both of y'all should be pretty familiar with Frank Zappa and the craziness that he brought to music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. The guy that plays Bill from Bill and Ted, he did a great documentary on him.
Yes, sure did. What was his name? Somebody let us know out there because we're too lazy to
Uh,
Google right
Al-
now.
Alex, mm, Alex. That's
Alex, you
I
got
just
it.
always called him not Keanu Reeves, but that's
right.
probably not fair. A third on our list was an American reality TV star, Kiki Jabbar, at the age of 43, has passed away. I don't know too much about her, but there seems to be some mystery surrounding her death, and I don't know how much you guys know about her and the way she passed.
I'm
Um,
looking.
but she was a star of a show called Love and Marriage Huntsville, and
Mm-hmm.
apparently she was found in her car and died of carbon monoxide poisoning. But her family is adamant that she did not commit suicide, that this was just an accident.
That's weird.
Yeah, I would say
That gives me not good vibes.
exactly right. Let me see if I can find the actual quotes here. Let's see.
Died this week, 42.
Okay, so YouTube star Joanne Jenkins has now stepped in to shut down any speculation into Jabbar's cause of death. And she stated
Mm-hmm.
on a live stream, quote, Kiki did not overdose. Kiki did not take her own life. Kiki loved life. Kiki was not ready to leave life. She wasn't ready to leave her children, her husband, or her family. Now, Jenkins also claimed that Jabbar would often get sleepy and got to sleep wherever and decided to sleep after experiencing a fault with her car. It just doesn't. It just doesn't pass the sniff test for me.
Okay, the first part, get behind, right? The second part, got to sleep wherever.
Right.
Huh?
She
Does she
also
have
says,
narcolepsy? Like, what's happening?
right. She also said that 7 something this morning, her husband goes to the garage. He sees Kiki, what he thinks is asleep in the car. Tries to get her attention. He opens the car up. She isn't breathing.
Um,
Uh,
nope.
yeah, I don't
That
know,
don't
man.
sit right.
What other wounds or superficial damage was done to her?
Right. And there's nothing about that. There's. I mean, I don't know anything
Because I
about
remember,
her, so
The
Right.
mouth is not math.
I remember the actress Thelma Todd. She was found in a similar circumstance, but she had a broken rib and like a broken nose, but she fell asleep with a car on, so it was ruled suicide.
Right.
It's
So
like, how do you break a rib getting into a car?
exactly,
And a nose.
and that's where you got to wonder. Like, you don't fall asleep in your car with your car running in a garage. I mean, that is just too cliche, right?
Everyone knows what happens when you do
Right,
that.
exactly right. So you got to figure something nefarious happened, either to herself or from
And the
someone
husband,
else.
just be like, "Oh yeah, she's asleep."
Right? The car's running in the garage. My wife is asleep in the car.
And I'll just leave her.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, moving
Okay.
on. July 3rd, Jeff Robinson, who was an Australian rugby player, passed away from a heart attack at the age of 66. And then the one that I wanted to talk about. So just a little background. Mark Germino is an American singer-songwriter, according to Wikipedia. We'll go with that. That was his for sure his life's work. However, just a couple of ironic things in my history with Mark. I met Mark in 2018. I was lucky enough to interview him along with a couple of other songwriters who I'm not going to name. If you guys follow along with me, you've seen the episode. But I was because that episode was 3 songwriters. I've been trying to get Mark on this new show that I have, my new interview show, for about. I mean, we've only just started doing the show, so he was one of the first, say, 10, 12 people that I emailed, because from that older episode, I had a lot of people commenting, wanting a one-on-one with Mark. So I, of course, trying to make that happen. Unfortunately, on July 3rd, Mark, we believe he had a stroke and fell. And he fell and suffered a hematoma to his head, and he did not recover. So Mark Germino, unfortunately, has passed away at the age of 77. And they don't know exactly what caused his death, whether it was the stroke or the fall or a combination of both. It doesn't really matter because he's not here anymore. But Mark was just an incredible singer and songwriter. Started off as a poet, figured out that it was easier to sing songs than to recite poetry. Moved to Nashville, and after 4 or 5 years in Nashville, finally figured out that he probably needs to learn how to play guitar if he's going to make it in that town. Just a very cool cat, and I was blessed to have met him, and unfortunately, he is no longer with us, and we're not going to get that 1v1 with him, but I think I am going to do a tribute episode of my other podcast in honor of him.
He looks so familiar.
Yeah.
I must have seen your stuff, honestly.
Probably. Yeah, probably, but he had songs picked up by so many legendary people. He never really had a big hit, but he had songs cut by Reba and Loretta and Johnny Cash and Emmylou Harris and, I mean, Kenny Chesney, so many different people. But anyway, moving on, July 4th, Wade Bell, who was an American Olympic runner, passed away at the age of 79. Didn't win anything at the Olympics, just goes to show you that nobody really notable died on the 4th this year. It's like, you're notable for just going, not even for winning.
Just gonna keep my damn mouth shut.
Just go look at the other people on July 4th on Wikipedia. You guys will understand, okay? You guys will understand. July 5th, we had a comedian, Tony Knight, who passed away at the age of 54. Passed away in a different country. I want to say the UK, or maybe it was France or something like that. But he was killed by a fallen tree branch.
That's insane.
Yeah, and the funny thing about this story was when I read this didn't even make the Wikipedia page, okay? I found this outside of that. And they called it an unprovoked tree branch.
Unprovoked. Me.
It's like, all right, so
I didn't say shit to that tree, man.
Exactly. He just threw it at me for no reason, that son of a bitch.
Ways to die.
So, like,
oh my god, I missed that.
as we do these celebrity deaths, it's always funny, like the ironic death, right? This is the ironic death. He's a comedian and was killed by an unprovoked tree branch. Like, what? It just sounds like a comedy story to me. Oh, man. Also on July 5th, the Georgian violinist, and this is not from the Georgia of the United States, but the Georgia, the former Russian state, Liana Isakadze, Georgian violinist, passed away at the age of 77. Liana Isakadze. That's right.
A lot of full lives. 77, 79.
It's always good to see that. Yeah, absolutely good to see that, except for the not suicide, right? 42-year-old Kiki Jabbar. And we do have at least one more young person on this list as well, which was really, really sad. We'll get to that in a minute. I added Liana Isakadze because I saw Georgian violinist and I immediately thought of Charlie Daniels, the devil that went down to Georgia, right? He was a violinist with a song about Georgia.
Oh, God.
Anyway. Also on July 5th, John Landau, who was very, very famous and for some reason hasn't really made the news all that much. He passed away at the age of 63. He was an American film producer, and he was kind of James Cameron's right-hand man. Like anything that James Cameron produced, John Landau was usually right there as well. So like Titanic, Avatar, like movies like that, Solaris, all James Cameron films that John was also a part of. He also won an Oscar, and he passed away from cancer on July.
That he directed, such as American Werewolf in London, which is still one of the greatest horror comedies of all time. And I believe he did Blues Brothers, which that is a perfect movie. I don't know if anybody knows that. There are very few perfect movies out there. Blues Brothers is actually one of them. And then, of course, I think Lando is most famous for doing the Michael Jackson Thriller music video.
Yeah, yep. So he did.
I think he
directed. Yeah, he was part of Animal House. He was a big part of Saturday Night Live, Blues Brothers, The Three Amigos. I did not even know that part of him. You're thinking of John Landis, actually. John Landis. I'm talking about John Landau, who was a producer. One was a director, Landis. One was a producer. I think John Landis is still with us, perhaps.
Okay, then ignore all the blasphemous things I just said.
Yeah, he's a jerk. Let me see here. I just want to make sure that he's still alive. It appears like John Landis is still living. Lucky for him. So we have not reported his.
Lucky for him.
We have not reported on his demise wrongly. Next up, we have an American poet who is 99 years old, Stanley Moss. Has passed away. I had never heard of Stanley Moss, but I figured, hey, 99 years old, he deserves to be mentioned by God.
I love how I say hell yeah when he died, but I say hell yeah because he got that far. I'm like, hell yeah.
I thought you were just excited about his poetry. I was going to ask you to recite some, Kadie.
I don't know shit about shit.
Holy crap, that was so good. So convincing. So convincing. Did he write that or was that you?
It's the truth.
I don't know shit about shit. That even rhymes, Kadie. That was impressive. Seriously.
My new song.
July 6th was a pretty shitty day for celebrity deaths. The first of the 4 that made our list this week was a Puerto Rican singer, actor, and TV show host, Edgardo Huertas, age 65, passed away on that day. Yeah, from Puerto Rico. Then 52-year-old Jimmy Hurst died of a brain hemorrhage. Jimmy Hurst was a former Detroit Tigers baseball player. And fairly young, 52. And then we have a current or most recent draft pick from the NFL. 4th-round draft pick of the Minnesota Vikings in the 2024 draft, Kyrie Jackson. at the age of 24, passed away in a car crash. And there were
Jesus.
2 other college players in that car as well. I don't know if they made it or not, but apparently it was a pretty gnarly crash.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
That is sad.
Yeah, anytime under the age of 50, or I usually like anybody younger than me. I'm 47, so like if I see somebody younger than me, I'm just like, golly, that's horrible.
That's barely older than me.
The latest addition to the list today, which really surprised me, I had not heard about this, but Joe Egan passed away on the 6th as well. He was 77 years old. He was a Scottish singer with the band Stealers Wheel. Most famous and notable for the song Stuck in the Middle with You. He actually co-wrote that song with Jerry Rafferty. So the man known for the line, I think what's it, Jokers to the left of me? What's the line? Clowns to the left of me, Jokers to the right.
Yeah.
Yep. The guy who wrote that line passed away a day before yesterday, at 77 years old. And last but not least on our list this week is our July 7th entry, Jane McAlevey, who was 59 years old. She was an American author and political commentator who passed away from multiple myeloma. Also kind of young, under 60, sadly.
Yeah.
Would she have survived if she only had the one myeloma?
I think so, yeah. It's anytime you have multiple, like, and it's not several either, it's just multiple, right? So that's usually, what, 2 or 3?
Well, I figured if it was like an even number, they could like fight each other. But if you get that
here's
one,
the thing. You say few, but few, I think like 3 or 4. Multiple, that's like 7 or 8.
But see, that's where you have to worry, though, because, like, you have few, you have couple, you have singular, you have multiple, you have several. So, like...
Yeah, so like 7 or 8, I would say would be multiple.
You think 7 or 8 is multiple?
What's
see,
7?
Ronald Goldman died from multiple stab wounds, but the number is somewhere in the 30s, so multiple.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So multiple can be anywhere between 2 and 5,000, perhaps.
This is what I'm thinking, like people. I'm thinking like people in a room. Multiple. Like a few, I'd say like 3 or 4. Multiple, at least like 7 or 8.
At what point does it go
Several
from
is like...
multiple to numerous?
Let's see, what I'm curious about is shitload, right? Like, how do we get from multiple to numerous to shitload?
I don't think that's a medical term.
Well, we're not looking for medical here. We're just looking for, logistically correct.
Anything to get out of the metric system.
I'm a shitload.
Well, maybe somebody out there can tell us the difference between a shitload and a fuck ton.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite phrase. Fuck ton. Love it.